Alrighty folks, want to welcome you back to another video from Yates Computers Tips and Reviews. So this will be my New Year start off video recap of 2022. Hopefully everybody's watched my little video on the trivia question of the year. Did you know? Did you see the error? Hopefully everybody goes back and watches that video because I'm not going to talk about it. Go watch that video. That is very important. Hopefully everybody's watched all my security videos. All the crucial stuff you need to know about the internet. Your security. All your hardware videos. All your memory videos. All those videos are crucial. Those are very, very important. The reason why I'm really pressed on that is on all those videos. Because you're going to end up having to buy a new computer due to Windows 11. And if you fall in one of these traps that I've mentioned on these videos, and you buy the wrong product, or you buy the wrong thing, that's really on you because I've talked about it in all these videos. To try to solve this problem so you don't get burned in the long run. So that's what Yates Computers Tips and Reviews is here for. Is to help you out. This is stuff I've learned over 30 years. Some things have changed over the time. Some rules, they just decide they don't want to follow anymore and they do whatever they want. And you pay the price because you bought that computer that is not designed and installed and set up properly. So this is why you need to go back and look at all these videos. If you're a gamer, if you're a web designer, if you're just a business, if you're doing servers, what is a server? What is not a server? What classifies as a server? There's a lot of things that are going involved into this. There's a lot of videos. I've been doing it for over 2 years of videos. Almost 3 years when this video gets posted. It's officially been over 2 years because I posted stuff before I officially launched the channel. This, I would say, is the official year. Pretty much, these are dead. I can't imagine these sticking around for very much longer. I will state that now. As of 2023, these old spaghetti mechanical drives are obsolete. They're gone. They're dead. Unless you need some massive terabyte storage. But for most home users, most business users, these are pretty much going to be obsolete. Now that I see you can get like a 4 terabyte, 8 terabyte solid state drive as of, let's say, 2023. Yeah, they're pricey, but there's a huge performance, there's a huge factors on that. There are certain reasons why you'd still want to use this, but they're going to get less and less and less. So, this is basically what I wanted to go through was a recap. Because I see a lot of people aren't watching a lot of these videos. They're skipping some, they're watching some. I've got quite a few views on one, quite a few views on the next, and then nobody bothers to watch the next ones. Those are important. There's reasons why I spent my time doing those videos. I see a lot of people still aren't subscribing. I need the subscriptions. Get your friends, get everybody you know to come over and subscribe. Again, I spend a lot of time doing these videos to educate you and other people out there. How long this information is going to be current, I don't know. But again, like I've mentioned in the past, if you don't know where the technology came from, you don't know where it can go and lead to. You don't understand the technology, how it's moved on. How it's gone from discs, like this one, a single platter. The other one, I've got a breakdown video of multiple platters. How that changed, what that changed, what was involved, the size, everything, the speeds. A lot of things have changed on these. They've tried to do a lot of things with these to try to improve the performance. Changing the port from SATA, IED, SCSI. There's a million other ones out there over the years to try to better performance. Knowing these things will help you, because if you find a drive, it might not be 100% compatible with the unit you have. It might be something different because you don't know the ports. Same server drives. There are different style server drives that look the same as a SATA. They're not. You need to know these factors. These are things that, if you're trying to do it at home, that can burn you. Could cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars, or even thousands of dollars. Home users could cost you thousands of dollars. Because maybe you don't know how to install this, and you bring a tech support guy in, or an IT guy in, to do this, and you bought the wrong product, and maybe the guy you hired, or someone you know, family or whatever, has no clue either. And they damage that drive. Once you open that drive, you can't return that drive. There's certain policies and certain rules when you buy these things. So if you go out and spend $300 on a drive and you buy the wrong one and you open it up and you try to install it and it don't work, that's $300 you basically just threw away. You got to go out and buy another one. The proper one. That's why I do these videos. To try to educate you so you know. And I'm not saying because you're going to do the work. If you're a CEO, any kind of management, and you have an IT guy, you pay an IT company, you pay these people to come in and do stuff. You want to be educated on this. Because, yeah, you need more storage. Yeah, I can come put it in your server. Oh, cost you $2,000. Sounds like a good deal for your business. Sure, no problem. I bring these in. Put them in. Give you storage. Is that the best for you? How much did that cost me? I just mentioned $300. That's not for one of these. That's for the new SATA drives. Let's say $100. But you think this should cost $300 or $400 each because that's what the SATA drive is. You know, prices are high. But what does he put in? What does that guy put in? What does the support put in? What do you put in? How do you know when you go to buy this, you're not paying $300 for an item you should be paying $100 for? These are all things even top-notch people in businesses should know. Because you want to make sure you don't get cheated. Yeah, it might be a low cost. Oh yeah, it'll resolve your problem. Yeah. But how would it resolve your problem? Is there a better alternative out there? Again, one of the other things I bring up in a lot of these videos is this is the only time that I know of that I can say you can actually buy a system that is too much for you to handle. That is overkill. And I've gone through a lot of this in the videos. Too much memory, too much hard drive, how fast your hard drives are, how many hard drives, what style hard drives, M.2, SATA, spinning mechanical, solid state, non-solid state. There's a lot of things out there that you could spend a lot of money on. Solid state drives. How many do you need? What size do you need? There's factors out there. There's some motherboards that will support 4, 3, 5 solid state M.2 drives on them. How many do you need? What size does it support? Yeah, you can get 3 M.2 drives on there at 500 gig. Yeah, okay, you got some storage space. Maybe it's better to have one 500 gig, 4 terabyte, if the board supports it. Why do you need to have a C, D, and E partition? Who in your business can actually understand that and operate that? Who at home can understand and operate that? If you want that, you can actually get a 4 terabyte drive and repartition it into C is your partition for your C drive for your operating system. You can partition the other one into D, E, F, G, H, and I, and J. And you can partition them all completely separate on one drive. So these are all critical things that you got to go back and watch all these videos of the year. Went through monitors nowadays. How many monitors can you hook up to a computer? Standard, high-end, or medium grade, decent video cards nowadays. Computers nowadays. I see computers where you hook two. It's basically the standard. I see computers out there where you can hook 3 or 4 to the motherboard graphics card. You can add on a port, HDMI, whatever you want, VGA. You can add a different port on there so you can have 3. Look at, I won't say gaming graphics cards, but the new graphics cards that come out, most of them have 4 ports. Some of them you can put dual video cards in. So technically you could have 3 on your motherboard, 4 on your video card, and 4 on your secondary video card. You can set up all kinds of monitors and all kinds of weird, funky, found structures. Video walls. That's what that's for. Video walls. Ads, marketing, all of these type of things. You have a lot of things out there now that didn't exist. Basic computer was one monitor. Sometimes you could put a splitter, you could do other things and add a second video card, or buy a video card that has 2 outputs. That was like the big thing. Now it goes crazy. You have video from USB-C. You put a little adapter in there, you can get a video feed off of that. There are so many different things out there that people need to know. Because let's say you buy a computer and you want 2 monitors on it, but you have that video C output that can be used for future growth on that computer. What if you decide to put a 3rd monitor? You have that potential. Those are things you got to look at, especially for a business side. What is the future growth of that computer? All of that's there. All of that, most people probably don't know. So, this is what all these videos are about. This is my, basically, 2013 starter video and my wrap up to 2022. A lot of things have gone on with COVID and all of that craziness that's gone on. A lot of the home environment, work at home. What else? Everybody now going back to work because COVID supposedly settled down. Now it's flared back up. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of things to keep track of. A lot of things that won't center your attention on this. But it's me trying to bring you back to it right now because Windows 10 support stops. I've mentioned that before. Computer performance is so much faster and so much better than where it was before. It's really a benefit to buy a newer computer because of the speed and the benefits of having that newer computer. How new? and how fast is the option. Again, I just mentioned that earlier. You can buy something that's way too fast right now. And if you can get it for a fair price to something average grade, to something higher grade that's faster, that you know is going to last you a lot longer, it might be worth it. That's where you have to do your research and you have to know what you're looking at. Because again, there's a lot of companies out there cutting corners to make it look like that product is really good, where really it's way down here. It's not up here. There's something else that's medium grade that's here, because they cut corners on this product, and that's not a very good product unless you fit within that very precise marketing SKU of how they set that up. And not necessarily that that's a bad product, but I've mentioned mixed match memory sizes, a lot of factors that are going on with a lot of these manufacturers to try to make you think what you're getting is better than what you're actually getting. Where you're actually getting worse because of what they did. So go back, watch a lot of those videos. I hope a lot of people understand them, realize what is being told to you and how it's being told to you, and to be aware of these things. And again, there's some stuff over 30 years that have changed. I've seen other videos bring up cooling fans, which kind of fan is designed and how they're designed, and a lot of that doesn't really apply today. It can apply today if you go out looking for that direct kind of fan. Most fans and other things are pretty much universal now. They're a bridge between the two. Cooling. I've seen computers coming in this year that have a lot of cooling, a lot of fans. So I've seen a lot of that change. I've seen over the years, I've mentioned in videos, where the case is designed for a fan and there isn't one. Because that's where they cut the corner. They wanted to save that $5 or $20 for that fan. The motherboard already has everything on it. The case has everything on it. They just did not physically put a fan in there and plug it in. For some reason, they decided, oh, we could get away without using that, so let's save the money, more profit for us. And that's where things are. Customer service for this year, everywhere, has fallen apart, has gone to pot. Restaurants, fast food, support companies, ordering online, everything has gone down. But time will tell if all that turns around. Goes back to the factor of, if you buy a good, reliable unit that you know that you won't have any of these weird manufacturer issues, and I will state they're manufacturer issues because they did not follow the best practices and best standards that have been in effect forever. By using mixed match memory, and you run into an error, and then you got to call support, you got to call that manufacturer to deal with that. How many hours is that going to take you? And then odds are they probably won't have any clue of what's going on. The end of the year video, the test video, the error video that will be available at the time this is, the result video, is really one of the big things I've been finding all this year. I have not quite figured out how or what that actually is and what's causing it. I know how to fix the issue. I know how to resolve the issue. It's really a crazy thing. I don't know if that's because of the future tech that we have into these boards. And the reason why I call it future tech is because Nowadays, motherboards are designed differently. I will go through that in the next video. Right after this, I will go through some of that. Some of what has been discovered through this year that basically I believe is causing this issue. Because that has changed a lot over the 30 years on motherboards. And I've seen a lot on that, but did not really connect the dots on this is why we're having this issue, because of all the generic standards across motherboards now. And I will go into that more in the next video. So I want to thank everybody who's been watching. Make sure you go back and watch all those other videos. There's a lot of them on there. There's a lot of content on there. There might be a lot of things you really don't understand. But watch it a couple times, 2 or 3 times, so that it can kind of absorb in, because a lot of times that information is critical to know when you come up to that issue. The reason why you don't really know what it is because you haven't dealt with it. But when that time that comes up, you'll go, oh, wait a minute. I remember seeing this. I can go back and look at it. Because when that comes up that first time, you're talking about hours of troubleshooting, figuring out what's going on, why is it doing this, how come it's doing this, what is it doing, I don't understand why it's doing that, what's causing it, what's the trigger, what's this, what's that. Most of these videos are going to tell you why, where to look at, check this, check that. If you have weird issues and you put in memory, check your memory. Doesn't hurt. Pull it out, look at it, see, does it match? Is there something wrong? How to check your system information. How to pull that up. What's the difference between Windows 10 and Windows 11? Where are things at? Because I'm going to tell you right now, when you go to Windows 11, a lot of things you're used to having in a certain location are not there anymore in the operating system. They've been moved. So you have to find the new location of where these files are at, where these tools are at, all of those type of things. I've shown in those videos of how I search around and how I move around in the operating system. Because it's the same as Windows 10 or Windows 11. I don't have to do 2 different operations, 2 different functions, depending on what OS I'm working on. Right now we're transitioning from Windows 10 to Windows 11. So, working with Windows 10 and Windows 11 doing the same functions. So it's easier to have the same steps no matter what operating system it is. Instead of going to completely different places, all of those videos are there. How do you do shortcuts? How do you do things? How do you move around? How do you find what you used to find? These are the important factors that are out there. And if you're a home user, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to get mad. Because now you're spending time to try to get around and do all these things you used to be able to do really easy. So, these are why these videos are there. The first look at Windows 11, how it boots up, where the start bar is actually at. Can you move it? How do you adjust it? What can you put on there? How do you do all of these things? You're going to have to figure all this out. All new. And the worst thing about Windows doing those things is you're used to doing it in a certain way, and then it's not going to work for you. You got to relearn how to do it. You basically have to forget the old way, do it the new way. And there's a lot of people that don't do well with that. So these are what these videos are here for. Because don't want anybody getting burned by thinking they're buying the right thing and doing the right thing. Going out, paying $8,000 for a gaming machine, and realizing it doesn't even have a independent video card. It's all off the motherboard. So the video gaming is horrible. And then you want to go add one. Doesn't even have the port. Do you have the power? Power supply that supplies enough power? Power cables to connect to the graphics card. All these things come into play. I know I don't cover a lot of gaming, but these are important factors you got to know ahead of time. I went over power supplies. I went over all these things because that is why you need to know about the power supply. It's really adding on. Knowing what you can do with your system. Went over one of the big things I see nowadays, again, USB ports. How many USB ports? What can you plug in? How much power does it draw? A lot of people plug a lot of things into their computers. Is it really needed? Do you really need all that? Buy a little computer, they plug their keyboard, their mouse. Guess what? Those draw power. External hard drives, 3 or 4. External USBs, external CD-ROMs, capture cards, all kinds of stuff they plug into those things. These are variables you need to know. A lot of that's covered. Go back, watch those videos. So, I hope everybody understands how everything's set up, how all these videos are structured. There's a lot of important information. Again, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Make sure you tell all your friends. Make sure you share the links. Make sure you share Facebook posts, Twitter posts, all those things. Generate some buzz out there so other people know. Because, again, you might not need to know this, but maybe your grandkids or someone else in your family might need to know this and might be struggling with some of these issues. And again, I don't see a lot of people talking about this. The one issue that I covered for the end of the year video, there ain't a whole lot of content out there on that. There ain't a whole lot of talk about that. But I've been finding it's a huge problem that I've been rendering and fixing on a lot of systems. This might be something that is affecting you at home or you and your business. So again, thank you again for watching. Let me wrap this one up and get going on some more videos for you because this is all critical information for everybody to know. Thank you.